I hope somebody
At
else pick up.
least.
I hope somebody else pick up the funding for PBS because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Tyler Perry should pick that mug up.
Somebody, because you got grown people beefing with kid cartoons.
Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. This is my Shiva. She's about to go back down. Go get in the bed. So welcome back, everybody. Absolutely. So everybody gets some attention tonight. Welcome to the Roundtable Talk. I'm your host, Christopher Unk Jones. Of course, we are here where no filters come off. I mean, like as biased, we're just being truthful. The fire comes on, and we tell the damn truth. So tonight's show is not about party lines. It's not about left or right of the bird. You know, I hear that all the time. Oh, that's the same bird. Okay, well, be the bird. Be the bird. Control the wing. I know birds that can live and not even be flying, bro. So I'm just saying. It's about black folks and working communities. Um, how we're being, let's say, negotiated off the table before the meeting even starts. And the wildest part, some people that are doing these things that that's pulling up their chairs and sitting in the back taking notes, um, signing the deals, they look just like you and I. And I'm not talking about red tone, dark reddish skin tone. I'm talking about negroid.
Hmm.
They look black. We got political parties pretending like they've done the work, and ain't no door been knocked on, no porch sat on, no forum held, and yet they claim to be speaking for the people. Speaking for who? Speaking for who? Who gave y'all the script or the topics or like the necessities that we see in the community? I don't care what color your campaign sign is or your political affiliation may be. That doesn't matter to me. If you ain't touching the ground, if you haven't listened before you spoke or negotiated or come to a compromise, you ain't negotiating for me. I just want you to know that you ain't negotiating for me, and I'm quite sure my co-hosts will feel the same. Tonight, we're going to break this all the way down from DC to City Hall, and call out every damn sellout and sideline hustler misrepresenting our name. Let's get into it. Now, I can't do this alone, as y'all all know. Every Tuesday, I try to bring some great knowledge. I try to push my co-hosts beyond their normal thinking, right? Especially like with some of our topics. I try to bring it into a space where it's relatable to us all. So first up, of course, I have Dr. Catherine Campbell. She's always the one with no breaks through the noise. Um,
She in
I
the
mean, she does
background
it the
right now.
best. Yeah, I'm quite sure. I'm quite sure. Uh, I'm sure she'll be hopping on. She's our compass when the media spins the map. Um, Also, we have Perry Busby. I call him our data man, our strategist, and walking bullshit detector. That's what I call him. Perry sees what's moving underneath the surface before it even hits the headlines. I'm telling y'all, get engaged with Perry Busby. um, and rounding us out is my battle buddy, military fam, Dustin Harris, boots on the ground, policy busting, people first truth teller. Dustin's not here for the games, I promise. So let's get to work. Segment one is our national political. distortions topic, right? The title for this particular segment is The Table is Set, but we ain't even in the room. I just want y'all to know the whole table is absolutely set and we are not in the room. Welcome, Dr. Campbell.
Hey, good evening,
Let's
everybody.
absolutely tell everybody,
What's
hey.
up?
Let's talk about what happens when you become a talking point instead of a participant. Okay. All these party folks, coalitions, and leaders negotiating our future, but can't even tell you the last church, school, or corner store they stepped into and spoke to the people that they just saw lingering, right? Or walking in and out. Some of them are on TV damn near every day selling progress like it's a brand, but we're still dodging redlining in 2025, food deserts in 2025, low wages, men and women, black and white in 2025, and silent state takeovers. I just definitely want you to know that we have platforms written by consultants, not community. Deals being made in back rooms, not backyards. And somehow that's called democracy. Hmm. Let's power shot this. And I like to take shots, but this is not that kind of shot. Dr. Campbell, start us off. What's a straight up lie being told or sold to black voters this cycle that needs to be exposed?
That Trump has a broad black based community support propagated through AI generated visuals.
I told y'all we was gonna call that shit out today. Excuse my expressions, but I definitely agree. It's being, it's being pressed like we 100% as a collective, right? Not the fallen leaves from the tree right before fall comes in, but
Mm,
as if it's a mass exodus of black people siding with Donald Trump and or the Republican Party. I've seen where there are conservatives, black and white conservatives and other conservatives that have left the MAGA train, the Republican Party, and started engaging not necessarily under a particular party, but educating people on the realities of politics, right? And showing them
mhm.
how it actually goes down. Dustin, give us an example. Um, what's a campaign promise that hit the billboard but never touched the block?
I'll give you the one. It's like must be the number one hit because every election season it brings its ass right back out. That damn trickle down economics. That I'ma give these CEOs, these companies, these presidents, these millionaires and billionaires a tax break, and that's gonna somehow make its way to the working man and woman.
Mm, mm,
And every time it don't fail, they take that money, get themselves raises, get themselves bonuses, go buy a new yacht, and do everything but trickle it down.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yet
yeah.
they keep playing that same stupid game like we blind or dumb. And idiots out there still believe it. If you give them a break, they'll give us a break. No, they won't.
So what you're saying is that same tired play from the '80s Reaganomics move is some of the
What's
same promises, campaign promises that we hear today or
same,
see
same,
today. You know what I'm saying? Only difference is it comes in a different verbiage,
ain't
and the
a
lie is the
dang thing
same,
changed but two words.
and the
Don't
lie
care
is
who
the
tell it.
same. Oh man, we have a segment in this for this particular segment, a section in this particular segment called out Flashpoint. This is where we bring you all, our listeners, watchers, and viewers into the conversation. Let's bring you in right now on what's the last real town hall or listening session you saw in your city, and did any actual policy follow? Drop it in the chat. Be honest. Did any policy follow? The Here in Beaumont, they just recently had the sort of kind of town hall review
Mm,
of the bond issue. That's a conversation that's being held here in the
mm,
city of Beaumont right now. Peep your local cities to find out what bond issues are being offered to the people. Find out which ones are going to be on the ballot. So definitely drop in the chat, when was the last real town hall or listening session that you participated
mm,
in? Know your rights. Here is what they don't want you to know. Okay, and I'll say it as I tell everybody. I'm not a lawyer. I did not go to law school. I just know the laws and policies that govern us, or as me. Federal programs tied to housing, education, and economic development legally require public input. That means you can file commentary and they have to respond. Go look up your city's consolidated plan or community development block grant funding notices, and then ask why you weren't invited to speak on it. They have to respond. And if they say, "Oh well, we put the invitation out every day," that's a public invite.
mm, mm, mm. I got you.
And that's it. So the round table, you called it. I'm glad somebody called it. The round table, the round table question is: what exactly is being negotiated for Black people, and who gave these folks the permission to negotiate it? Dr. Campbell, you have the floor.
Most platforms use vague terms, not exclusive for Black communities on a national level. They use terms like equity investment, criminal
Mm,
justice reform,
mm,
economic opportunity zones,
mm-hmm,
access to capital, environmental justice, and healthcare access. These phrases are often non binding, underfunded, and filtered through neutral language like underserved or marginalized, which dilutes
mm-hmm,
focus on Black needs.
mm-hmm,
So you ask who's negotiating on behalf of Black people and with whose permission? The uncomfortable truth is no one with true community accountability. Hmm.
hmm,
Civil rights organizations like NAACP, Urban League, and the Urban League are still treated as default voices, but don't
mm-hmm,
hold a direct uh, mandate for the community. They
mm-hmm,
may advocate, but they aren't elected or bound by community or referendum.
mm-hmm.
So here we go with celebrity surrogates. Media figures, pastors, and other entertainers are often used by campaigns for optics. These individuals are unelected and rarely engage in actual policy crafting.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Party insiders and PACs may negotiate access or influence, but they're often loyal to party outcomes, not
Mm-hmm.
Black agendas.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there's no collective delegation, no black, no collective Black delegation like a Black policy Congress. So right now,
Mm.
most of the people negotiating for Black communities are self-appointed and unaccountable. These policies offered are usually vague, underfunded, and not enforceable. Until there's a community chosen body with clear binding demands, what's being called the Black agenda is mostly symbolic, not structural.
I totally agree, Dr. Campbell. I mean, you hit on several key issues as far as it comes to black representation. One of the first things I would like to point out is the black agenda, right? And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people and or politicians are afraid in today's society or in the past. Well, no, they
Not,
had black agendas. You heard me?
mm-hmm.
They had black agendas, and so people of today seem a bit soft, like Claude told him,
Mm.
um, soft, SOFT, capital T, when it comes to black agendas, right? And
Right.
we're living in an America that's in your face about a white agenda or and white empowerment. And so, I mean, like you hit on a lot of good. I mean, that had some substance to it. One of them good shots that burn as it go down. You know what I'm talking
Hmm. That wasn't that Tennessee, honey. That was smooth, huh?
about? What they used to call it, that was that rock gut, Miss Cat. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. That was that bitter truth. You understand that?
Yeah.
Dusty, you got the floor.
I'm gonna start with not a goddamn thing is being negotiated for black folks.
Mm. That's right.
Our successful negotiations of the past are being piggybacked off of,
Uh-huh.
but
Uh-huh.
no one is actually negotiating for us. It's a lot of sideshow acts out there tap dancing and
Yeah.
doing their best court gesture in coverage that they are negotiating for us, but we all
Mm-hmm.
know they negotiating for their own pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We see them every day. We know them by name. They think they could run for governor, but they ain't. Like little turkey neck boy up there in Florida.
Um, I mean, I agree. It's plainly obvious to my co-host, and I'm sure our listeners, watchers, and viewers. Um, I mean, there is nobody actually at the table rightfully representing, justly representing, faithfully representing without compromise. And don't get me wrong, y'all, as a representative or as an elected representative, you do have to come into the space with compromise. That does not mean compromise of yourself and or your integrity, your ideals, your faith. That doesn't mean compromising your body, right? But there is a level of negotiation that happens, right? And as um, from me to you all, and from my co-host to you all, that those negotiations that happens at the table happen um, with and or without the concrete information from the community, right? And so we want you to know that, especially as elected, we want the elected and the appointed to know that you can't negotiate what you ain't lived through. If you
Oh,
haven't
no.
lived through this, you can't negotiate that. You can't speak for pain you did not survive. Okay. So if you didn't have to be ridiculed or anything of that nature as you came about into the life that you currently have, um, you can't speak for us. You damn sure can't promise. I mean, liberation while you're locked inside the master's house pretending to be free. That's an oxymoron even to the newborn. So Until these folks have walked the blocks, cried with our families, stood in front of bulldozers and not just behind podiums and dais, they don't make they don't get to make deals in our name, period. Just period. And until the individuals who choose not to participate feel as if they have rightful representation, why are we why are we being put in a precarious situation again? Like we spoke on last week, Houston has a district without representation. No taxation without representation. That doesn't mean that, oh, you have somebody elected. That doesn't just mean, oh, the seat is vacant, y'all. No taxation without representation is something very real. And it doesn't matter which side of the bird is in play. So, with that being said, be the bird, not the wing. Okay? Segment 2. I see Dr. Campbell fell off. Make sure she ain't on periods, not in the background, if you could, please. Our program host. Oh, of course, it's always delectable and delightful to be on the roundtable talk, and we are ecstatic to be on the Knowledge is Power podcast live platform. And so all shouts out to our platform hosts, Tony Renfro and the Knowledge is Power podcast live. Make sure that you tune in to them on Sundays at 7 p.m. Topics, guests, I mean, wealth of knowledge and information. You should definitely check out that show. um, Segment 2. Somebody said something in the chat.
She's in the back.
Yeah, she in the back. She in the background. Tony, if you could bring her up. Um, Segment 2, state and local failures to engage. Our title for this particular segment is "Who Sent You?" Just straight up, who sent you? Like, whose man is this? You know what I'm saying? Who's Miss Lady Bits is this? Who is this? Who sent you? See, it ain't just DC or a DC crew doing damage. I want y'all. I really want y'all to know that. I really, really want y'all to know that. Pay attention to what's happening on the state level. The orange orangutan tells us all the time, oh, that's in the hands of the states. So pay attention to what your state is doing and or is not doing. That's from the attorneys general, the lieutenant governor, and the governor for sure. Make sure that your railroad commissioner is on point because he too will sell you out. Um, Local officials out here treating titles like crowns, bejeweled crowns, showing up, showing up for photo ops and um, not showing up to vote against harm. They're absent, not even bringing it to the agenda. How about that? We got black representation that don't represent nothing but their own career ladder. Individuals seeking to go higher than where they are, based on what we, the people, especially the local and or state people, have given. Um, it's a possibility, Miss Cat. You might want to call. You might want to call. Um, so um, they're voting for budgets. They're voting on budgets. that displace you, displace us, displace we, displace themselves, even. Sitting on committees that fund the police but defund housing, that's really happening in our state representation. And when we question them, they say, we're dividing the community. Oh, you're being divisive. Oh, you hating on this particular plan, or, you're creating chaos where it's not, no, we're defending it, we're defending the people from wasteful spending and whatever the hell is in the swamp that the orange orangutan said he was going to drain in the first place, right? We're defending it. So, um, yeah, yeah. That brings us to our power shots. Dustin, give us give us a fireball. I mean, it could be cinnamon, it could be on fire. What's one disaster, natural or man-made, where local leadership completely dropped the ball? I think you're on mute. And I'm sure you ain't gonna just give us one.
You saying it's one, but it's a reoccurring pattern that keep popping up again and again. So let's start with it. 2005, Rita.
Hmm.
2008, Ike. 2017, Harvey. 2019, Amilda. Seem to be the pattern that I can really name a bunch, but it's the same history lesson not being learned, so it's repeating itself.
Right. I have one. Tropical Storm Lily, 2002.
Sure. There go another one.
That was
I was in
way
basic,
back. So y'all should have learned something from
I was in
way
basic
back.
training, so I missed that one.
I was just getting out.
But it's another history lesson not learned. So we got half-ass responses after half-ass responses from the city government, the state government, and
County.
and it just continues.
Hmm.
It continues with the stupidity fails because you can check the bond proposals and see that hey, y'all missing the point here.
Mm.
It's extremely missing the point of this water.
Yeah. 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 Man. Dr. Campbell,
Yes.
break down what community engagement is supposed to look like by law and what it usually looks like instead, if you don't mind.
Okay. So community engagement is supposed to happen by law. Number one, through public hearings and meetings, cities, school boards, zoning boards. Uh, they're all required to hold open meetings before making major decisions, such as
Yeah.
budgets,
County
zoning,
commissioners. You're right.
policies, and education.
Mm-hmm.
The laws are an Open Meetings Act,
Mm-hmm.
Sunshine Law, which is pertaining to the federal and state level of transparency,
Mm-hmm.
and federal grants often require public input, and those happen for like agencies like HUD and the EPA. Um, they're also called by what also happens in the community engagement is public comment periods.
Mm-hmm.
The legal requirement says that agencies must give time for residents to review and respond to plans such as environmental permits,
Mm-hmm.
transportation projects, or police contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Environmental justice laws require input from affected communities before permits are issued.
Right.
Then you have notice and transparency. The legal requirement is agencies must give adequate public notice in newspapers, websites, or physical postings before meetings or decisions are made. The goal is to ensure that the public has time to show up and respond. Then there's also what we talked about last week, that FOIA,
Hmm.
access to information. The legal requirement is public records must be available through the Freedom of Information Acts
Hmm.
or state level equivalents. The purpose is to let residents understand what's happening, how money is being spent, and who's making the decisions. Now, why it rarely happens.
Hmm.
Number one is poor notifications. The notices are buried in hard to find websites or small print ads in the newspapers or shared in official language that are not where people are. Number two is inconvenient timing. The meetings are often held during work hours, and so like people with children or you know have other obligations, they can't make those meetings.
Hmm.
And then you
Right.
have the token meetings, right, where even when the public speaks, the decisions are already made,
Already
like
made.
when they did the city bus deal. Yeah.
Or the city police chief deal.
Right, right, right. Yeah, the decisions are already made. So now it's just a formality or going through emotion, not really input, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. And then you have the lack of representation. Committees and boards lack black or working class representation. So even if the laws are followed, the lens is biased. And then there's gatekeeping by design. Some officials
Right.
intentionally limit input by using legal minimums, refusing community forums, so that the public feels excluded.
Right.
So
Right.
community engagement is legally required, but often done in ways that's performative, inaccessible, or ignored. It's lawful, but it's not meaningful. Mhm.
I totally agree. I totally agree. Especially when it comes to you know, knowing the particular agencies that you as people can govern, right? And
Mhm.
from all that you said, that low key or high key or
Mm.
medium key put the power or the responsibility of power back into the people's hands. So you can't say, "Oh, they're gonna do what they want to do anyway." Mm-mm, no, that's they do what you allow them to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally agree.
And you really have to, from what everything that I just said, you really have to go on a hunt for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's just like when, as a veteran, whenever we got out, or whenever I got out, I mean, like, they didn't tell me I was like the little separation payment that I was gonna get was going to I would have to pay it back through my, through my VA compensation. They don't tell you that
Wow.
out the door.
It's not
They
even that. You lucky you didn't get like a retirement bonus or nothing like that, because that comes out of it too.
Mm.
But they don't tell you that.
Mm-mm.
You be sitting there on the first or the third, waiting for your check to hit, and yeah, looking crazy by the face, waiting on your check. Flashpoint. Let's ask the people. Yes or no? Has an elected official ever knocked on your door, called, or held a real conversation about what you need? Drop it in the chat. Yes or no? Yes or no? We do have some comments that's going on YouTube. I definitely want y'all to know. Um, some of the things that you were saying, Dr. Campbell, Dustin L. Harris said he's been saying for years they need to stop having meetings during work hours outside of the access of people. And so, even even with them saying, well, it is streamed on YouTube. No,
That's the only way I watch because it's
that's
on
the only.
YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. That's the only way some people are able to watch it.
Now,
Because it's on
now I have
YouTube.
had a council person come and ask me, "What can I do for you? And how can I help you?" And even in the past, we had a council person in this area who, when I called him pertaining to a situation,
Hmm.
he called me back and asked me, "Was it resolved to my satisfaction?" Yeah. So,
Now, that's one thing I can say about old Getz. He would stop by during election time, but if you had an issue any other time, that man jump on it like goddamn pit bull on a bone, boy.
huh.
Now I don't know about who took his job, but we shall see.
I will say I have had an elected knock on my door. Um, and even, sit with me at a round table or lunch or something of that nature just to hear, um, you know, what I get from, our communities. As a person that's engaged almost in every aspect, and when I'm not, I have a friend that is, then they end up telling me about what's going on in that community that I may not be a part of, right? Or I may be a part of that community and individuals just don't feel right or comfortable talking to me, right? And so I think when you get the opportunity or have the privilege to speak for a community or communities, you should take that opportunity to heart, because people are entrusting you not only to speak some of the same things that they told you, but with the same passion and conviction that they have for the elected and the appointed and the employed. And so we definitely, um, you know, not only want them knocking on our door, but we, like Dr. Campbell said, want them to make sure that the issue and or standard that we have is being met or being resolved, right? And so, yeah, know your rights. Transparency is not optional. It's a law. It's 100% law. Your city council, your state reps, your attorneys general, your lieutenant governor, your governor, your railroad commissioner, your foreman's commissioner, all of those, your port commissioner. Yeah, I mean, like all of these individuals that are elected and appointed have a responsibility to be transparent. They have to post agendas, hold open votes. I'm gonna say it again: hold open votes. One more time: hold open votes. Yeah, 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 and allow input. If they don't, then it's up to us to challenge it, demand it, or
Hmm.
remove them. It's no negotiation. That's no compromise. We, the people, shall not be compromised. And our liberties are not up for negotiation. That's things that are not on the table or on the list at all. Roundtable question is: what should be the bare minimum standard of presence, preparation, and truth we require from anyone who says that they represent us? Dr. Campbell, you have the floor.
Well, starting with presence, they should show up. They should be at the meetings, in the streets, and with the people.
Hmm.
Preparation. They need to know the issues, the history, and the stakes involved.
Especially the history.
Hmm. And then number three, the truth, you said. They need to be honest about what's possible and accountable for what's not. If
Hmm.
they can't meet these requirements, they shouldn't even speak for us.
Hmm. Hmm. I totally agree. I totally agree. You ain't gonna go in no more?
I kept it brief.
Dustin, you have the floor.
All I'm gonna say is I require them to actually address the issue. Like
Mm.
this. Why is there no traffic slash evacuation signs or plans for this city? Like when you go to other cities, you'll see it on the side of the little road in the little bright little
Evacuation
blue
route.
colors. This is the direction you should go in case of a flood, natural disaster, or anything. We ain't got that nowhere. They need to be one a plan for that in every direction around here because we don't know which way the storm coming. Another thing, actually address the pump situations that's going on with the city and maintain them. Keep them maintained. Cause I don't want to hear about no pump going out. Soon as the flood water hit, now you got citizens got doggone fish and flood water out of ditches just so they can flush their toilet and possibly take a bath because the city ain't got water for weeks.
Oh,
Or
that sounds like Harvey.
huh,
You know
or it
what?
would.
Being that our city is a minority majority coastal city, seems like our pumps should be on a floating buoy anyways. You know what I
And should be
mean?
on an annual maintenance plan.
Huh?
And should be on an annual maintenance plan.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And as
They
well
should
as
they should have stretch of for the buoy to go up at least what 15 to 21 feet, something like that, maybe. In case they release the water in the dam.
right, right. Hello, somebody.
Yeah,
And that's upriver. That's nothing that Jefferson County or the city of Beaumont has control over, with
Oh,
the
but I got
exception
something they
of
do have control over.
warning and letting you know, hey, you got a flood. You
Now
supposed to be
get this.
flooding.
exactly.
Fix them pipes and drainage in the north end.
Mm,
Fix the pipes and drainage in the city of Beaumont. How about you
Period.
fix it on
mm.
the east side of the city
Huh.
first? Because
That
that's
way,
the oldest portions of the city anyway.
that way, when the flood waters do come, you ain't got sewage and other stuff pushing back up into people's houses.
Right, because
Exactly.
you just so happen to be lifting and pumping that same storm drain and sewage from the west side of the city, which is the lower half of the city anyway.
Put that pump on the floating buoy and it'll still work. It won't drown.
And how about you put some pumps connected to all the underpasses? That way, people ain't trapped in their houses.
Or increase the size of the lines that everything can no longer be done in a 12, 14, or 16-inch pipe. I'm just saying.
Throw some 20s down there.
Throw some dubs down
Throw some dubs on there. Call it a day, man.
it. Throw some D's on that beat. I mean, I'll tell you what the bare minimum is. Show the hell up, just like Justin said.
Okay,
Just
so we
like
have
just like
digressed.
Dr. Yes, just like Dr. Campbell said. Show up. That's the first thing. Presence. Show up. I don't care if you feel like it or not. You were elected by the people. If these people you perceive haven't didn't elect you or didn't come out to the polls because you could read that data, um, go out there anyway because you are the elected. You are the one that represents the people. And so after you show up, then meet them. Know their name. Shake their hand. Find out. I mean, if anything, their zip code, if you don't want to know their, you know, preferred pronouns.
I'm gonna say this. I think that voters are held accountable as well because just like you said, I have seen voters come to the voting poll and say, "What we voting for?"
That's not
Really?
voters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were voters. Yeah, I'm telling you, they were voters. Okay, I was
Voters,
working the poll,
voters
and
aren't.
look here.
Voters
I say,
not gonna
why don't you
ask you
take
who
this
on the
sample
poll,
and
who
go
on the
take it home
ballot.
and read it, study it, and so that you can know what the issues are. right? And so that you can make an informed decision. Oh, I can read it right there. I read okay. I can read it right there. Okay, so you don't know the history. You don't know anything about this ad valorem that you about to vote on, right? Yeah, that was
Hmm.
voters. So
Then
I'm gonna need
me
them to be just as
personally,
accountable as the people that are elected.
me personally, that's not a voter. That's just somebody that went into the poll because somebody asked them to go vote for them. That's not a voter.
Mm.
Voters, especially informed voters, know the people that
Informed
are on
voters.
the
There's a
ballot,
difference.
know the people that are on the ballot as well as the propositions that are on the ballot, understands the history
Hmm.
of these propositions, trying to do the background, like look behind it and see what the real issues really are.
Intent
Why is
is.
this
That's right.
even right? Why is this even a proposition on the ballot? Why is this even a bond in, a issue on a bond? Like, why do we need a Darling Road extension?
Mm.
I'll wait, because don't we have an extension at the rear side of Park Del Mall that was allegedly for access and development? You know how many people drive that street? None.
Mm.
I probably saw you. I probably saw you because I back up into into the to the left, the right side where there is no, where the street sort of kind of deads in it. That's me.
Mm.
That's me that be parked right there. That be me. And
Lest we
I be
digress.
out
Number
there
three.
with my little ticker. How many people going west and how many people going east? I count them, and it's not that many. Not that many people for me to be paying for it as a taxpayer here in the city of Beaumont. Not for you and everybody else to be paying for it in the city of Beaumont. When developers said that they were going, oh, you do it and we gonna come. I ain't seen a piece of development there yet.
How about they finish the street? Cause they ain't even finished all the lights. Nothing on there.
It was supposed to be the developers to do that.
Oh, okay. They're supposed to put stoplights up. Okay, that explains it.
No, the stoplights are of course city's responsibility. Lighting is developers and entities' responsibility.
I just need the
That's a
street lights to
utility.
be
I
finished.
mean, how many regular streets you pass down that don't have a street light? And that's the city street. That's not a new and extended street.
There's
I've
plenty of them.
taken strips of county roads without a street light.
It's
I
cause your
mean, and
bright on.
yeah, yeah, that's what they want you to do. You utilize your brights. You use all of your car. I want them to know our needs, know our non-negotiables. Like I said, there are some things that are not to be on the table. There are some things that are not negotiable. And why
Sure.
are you even sitting there
We got to have a standard.
entertaining that? Exactly, I was about to say, why are you even sitting there entertaining the demise of a standard that the people that elected you and or that you represent have already set for themselves? If you
Hmm.
can't sweat with us in the summer or cry with us when it floods, you ain't ready to speak for us in any session, let alone executive sessions. I said what I said. Now let's bring it home.
Bingo.
Segment 3, returning to the ancestral standard. The title for this particular segment is This Ain't It. This ain't it, y'all. Let's be real. We didn't get here alone. And I definitely want to pay homage to our ancestors and our elders who held the standard. Not you, fake Jakin Negroes. Not you fake Jake and sellouts. Not you coons. Not you Sambos. Not y'all. Not you gatekeepers. Not y'all. We not talking about y'all. I'm not, at least. But we damn sure ain't getting out with what we're doing now. I just definitely want you to know that's why I had to pay homage to the elders and the ancestors of yesteryears. Our ancestors had standards, y'all. 100%. They met, they organized, they tied in liberation. Like tied into liberation. I don't know if y'all understand what I'm saying. They knew that liberation was not free, whether it cost bodies or monies. They knew the liberation of the black people were not free. They weren't trying to go viral. They were trying to live, survive, and be a collective, just in a group of individuals that sought to do the same thing. And somewhere between hashtags and access, we started accepting bare minimums and empty suits. We've got elders being ignored, churches turned into stages, and
Mm,
businesses that used to be shills now silent for profits. Time to wake the hell up and all the way up. So, Dr. Campbell, name a
yeah.
tradition or elder in our neighborhood or your neighborhood that once held the line, that held the standard. What did they teach us?
Well, there was a time when the church set a standard of civic leadership, education,
Stop.
and mutual
Hold on.
aid.
Let me throw a disclaimer right here. This is the
You better stop.
Pastor Campbell's daughter. I want y'all to understand that. This is Reverend Campbell's daughter of Beaumont, Texas. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, yeah. Yeah, there was a time when the church set a standard of civic leadership, education, and mutual aid, and organized action in the community through the teachings of Sunday school,
Hmm.
BTU,
Hmm.
mission, and
Hmm.
Vacation Bible School. And
Brotherhood.
Vacation Bible School wasn't 2 or 3 days; it was the whole week.
Whole week.
Okay, and it
Hey.
was meaningful. Sometimes it was 2 weeks, and it was
Yes.
very meaningful, right? It taught that faith without works is dead, and that
Hmm.
elders were trusted not just for scriptures but for strategy and for how they lived what
Hmm.
they preached.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. That's why I threw out that disclaimer. Somebody was gonna be like, "Well, dang, she on church," like because the standard of the church compared to when her father was around, or
Okay.
when Reverend Daniels was around, or when Reverend Brown was around. I
Hmm.
mean, like, think of old school Starlight. Think of old school Cathedral of Faith before it left Washington Boulevard. Think of old school Antioch before it left Washington Boulevard. I'm
Hmm.
talking about the standard that we knew, that we grew up in, that we were bathed in, that we were loved in. I mean, like the pride in place of knowing that we belong to the old landmark association or the General Bowen association. I mean, like
Trinity Valley. Yeah.
I was about to say, come on, Queen, you see me grab my head, the
Yeah. I saw
Trinity
you.
Valley. I mean, and that one crossed both sides, Texas and Louisiana. I mean,
That's right.
come on, the standard that we once knew is, I don't know, extinct. Dustin, tell us what we've lost by swapping out real gatherings for fake influence.
What we lost was indeed standards. We lost codes, be it street or in your house. We lost respect and order.
Mm,
There
mm,
was a way things should and shouldn't move out there.
mm-hmm,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But
Come
with
on now.
every idiot nowadays being called an influencer, the balance is off.
Mm. Sure enough.
Hey man, I promise. I promise. This is our flashpoint question. Tag or name to our listeners and viewers. I definitely want y'all to tag a name or tag a name or name one person or group in your life that used to hold the standard. Then ask who's holding it now. Yeah, post that in the chat. Respond that. Who's doing it now? Who's doing it now? Who's holding up the standard now? And don't say well all the old standard holders is dead because they not. I'm still alive. I remember the standard. Dustin is younger than me. He's still alive. He raised his hand. He recalled the standard. I'm sure Dr. Campbell is in the background raising her hand. She's a little bit older than
Sure
me.
enough.
She remembered the standard. Um, where the rest of y'all at? Y'all go to these churches. Y'all sit up there. Y'all say all these things, but name one person or a group in your life or in our community that used to hold the standard. Then ask yourself who's holding it now. Know your rights. Your neighborhood association. North End Neighborhood Association, South End Neighborhood Association, South Park Neighborhood Association, Pear Orchard Neighborhood Association, um, Amelia Neighborhood Association. There are several other neighborhood associations like Terra Park Neighborhood Association and some neighborhood associations, especially in the city of Beaumont, that are inactive. If you do not have a city that operates with neighborhood associations or operates as neighborhood associations, guess what you can do? You can develop a neighborhood association within your city and engage and identify the boundaries of your neighborhood association. You develop your bylaws and your church council, your legacy club like Diamond Social Club or the Brothers Club or the Appomattox or you know legacy clubs. You know what I'm talking about? They are more than logos, especially the one of the legacy clubs I remember that I think Dustin mentioned a few shows ago. We need to revive is the Elks Lodge that was on Irving Street. That needs to be revived. That lodge in particular was a Black Elks Lodge. And so it needs to be revived. It needs to be revived. It needs to be revived. They can file petitions, demand hearings, stop rezoning, block permits, and challenge policy. But that's the spaces that some of us don't want to access because we are intimidated. And I'm telling you, don't be. Jump in just like you would do a pool. We forgot our power, but it's definitely time for each and every one of us to remember, recall, and recollect the struggles that our ancestors and standards, the struggles that they went through and our ancestors, the standards that they set after their successes, after they found out how the individuals were against them. Roundtable talk question for my co-host is what does it really look like to return to the ancestral standard, not just in speech, but in structure and sacrifice? Dr. Campbell, you have the floor.
Well, in structure, it means building systems that are rooted in accountability.
Mm-hmm.
That's shared land, collective economics, and intergenerational wisdom, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And in sacrifice, it means prioritizing community over ego,
Mm-hmm.
service over status,
Mm-hmm.
and legacy over lights.
Yes.
Not just speaking truth, but living it,
Mm-hmm.
funding it, and
Mm-hmm.
protecting it,
Mm-hmm.
sacrificing for it. Mhm.
I totally agree. I totally agree. That's the the essence of the standard.
That's
It
right.
it has to be shown, told, and exemplified. You can't
That's
have
right.
somebody expect, you can't be expecting somebody to live by a standard that you ain't walking yourself.
That's right.
And it's and for I remember it's not, as a kid, it's not do as I do, it's do as I say. No, I'm watching you,
No.
I'm listening to you. So you can't set a standard. And I remember my mom once said that, and my grandmother came back and corrected her. No, he watching you. What do you mean? So, the standard that my grandmother gave me is obviously the standard that she gave to my mother. And if she could correct my mother, not scold her, but correct her in, raising a male child, hey, 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 he's watching you, you know? Dustin, you have the floor.
To me, I said to me, people can feel how they want. I'm not gonna care. I'm still gonna sleep good.
Yeah.
But to me, it's the return of the family structure.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Start with two parents for each child. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't say a two-parent household. I just said two parents.
Two parents.
I don't really care if you hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason it
But
may
be
be that
present.
you hate
That's
each
right.
other.
Hmm.
But both of y'all need to have your asses there for that child.
That's right.
Exactly.
Be present.
But because the child needs both of you.
Mm-hmm.
That
That's
goes
right.
for the grandparents too. I don't care
Exactly.
what y'all bickering or arguing about. That goes for
Exactly.
aunts, uncles, cousins,
Exactly. Exactly. He did say
cause
family, y'all.
all. Cause
Yes.
the trunk of the tree is the strongest for a reason. It ain't the
Mm.
branches, it ain't the limbs,
And ain't the
Mm-mm.
it's the
leaves.
trunk.
Right.
Mm-mm.
So the ancestors built it that way for a reason. Because once you got a strong trunk, it's kind of hard to move that tree. So y'all just
Mm-hmm.
need to get the structure back together. But don't get
Mm-hmm.
me
Mm-hmm.
wrong, because I know there's some horrible people in everybody family tree. But guess what? That's what you got prunes for.
Mm.
Go ahead, prune that little branch up off of there and keep the
Mm.
rest of the
They
tree
call them
strong.
suckers. You prune them suckers off.
I'll tell you, ain't no
Yeah.
need to let the whole tree rot because of one sucker.
Mm-hmm. That's
Go on,
right.
get your pruning shears out. Go on,
Yeah.
nip that one in the bud. Somebody can
Yeah.
feel that
Mm-hmm.
void, and we keep it moving.
Exactly. Exactly. Ain't no need to lose fruit because of a sucker.
Hmm.
I'm not about to I'm not about to have some small fruit or some premature fruit because of a sucker.
Nope.
No, no, no. And
Yeah,
that's
they
what
suck the
a
life
lot
from
of
you.
people, you know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people don't realize that happened in their families back in the day. They found a sucker that couldn't stand up to the standard and they cut him off.
Or they had to be cut off. Yeah.
They had to be because they were a sucker. They were sucking the life out of everything the family had set up. They only saw the riches for themselves and not as a collective or for the collective. You didn't sell your land or your trust to a non-black individual or non-black company in the standard of black community or black equity or black economics or black sustainability or black superiority. You didn't.
Trying to make a quick buck.
I
Mm.
promise. I promise. I promise. Um, for me, and like Dustin said, for me, returning to the standard isn't about, oh, that's old fashioned. Returning to the standard ain't about looking back. It's not. That's not it. It's about building forward with the same integrity of the past, right? It's about building forward with the same foresight of the past, right? Um, It means showing up when you're tired, speaking when it's dangerous, and holding the line even when it ain't popular. Our ancestors left us a template. Grand. Some people, as we mentioned in this show and previous episodes on this at this table, that those individuals that gatekeep are sometimes the hindrance of vast communities in the black community. It's time we stop remixing it for clout and start living it for real. 100%. Dr. Campbell, give us something that's going to, you know, keep us for the rest of the week if you don't mind.
Okay, if we want what our fathers, our forerunners had, we must do what they did. We must organize, build,
Mm-hmm.
and sacrifice until our work matches our words.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 100%. 100%. To the listeners, viewers, and audience, I definitely will ask that you continue to keep Dr. Campbell in prayer for a
Thank
complete
you.
healing. Dustin, give us something for the rest of the week.
Well, it's time for the word and phrase of the day.
Give it to us, brother.
Today we going over gentle parenting.
Oh God.
Oh.
Gentle parenting is supposed to be a parenting style that emphasizes empathy, respect, and understanding in the parent and child relationship.
Mm.
But at some point, y'all little soft tails done overcorrected to try to avoid what you apparently went through,
Mm-hmm.
and y'all have become pacifiers, friends,
Mm.
and homies to your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Why these?
Speak, brother.
And so now you got these kids walking around with no fear, no
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
empathy, no
Mm-hmm.
compassion, no
Mm-hmm.
Speak.
direction, no
Mm-hmm.
honor, and no self assurance.
No
Mm.
consequence.
Y'all are creating fragile psychopaths.
Hmm. I'm watching it like it's on TV, huh?
Speak, brother.
Y'all got these kids either being bullied by internet that they can turn off, or you got them bullying others because they think it's fun.
Hmm.
Sure, we had bullies back in the day, but guess what we was also allowed to do back in the day? Punch him in
Fight
his
them.
mouth without punishment.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't want people to get punched no more, so now they grab knives and guns.
Hmm.
Right.
And then you
Right.
and then you want to know where you went wrong. Where you went wrong
Hmm.
was you was sitting your little self in his room or
Being
her
his
room,
friend.
and she was talking to you crazy, and you just like, that poor baby just stressing. I bet she'll stress a left right hook if it's busting her goddamn on head. But that's your problem. Y'all at some point wanted to be your your child's friend when your
Mm.
mama, your grandma, your aunts, all them told you. One thing they not is your
Is
friend.
your friend.
Mm. Come
But
on, brother.
apparently y'all ain't learned that lesson. Y'all want to be friends, homies, and all that. Mm-mm. Here's a tip for y'all. Parents, new parents, old parents. Look, your first child bully should be you. Your child should leave the house with the thickest skin possible, where nobody in the world can affect them.
Mm-hmm.
That's called armor. It's called calluses. You put them
Mm-hmm.
there. Fear is not a bad thing. Fear keeps
Mm-mm.
a lot of people alive every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
Boy, you
y'all
need to
keep.
pass the collection plate after that one here.
I was about to say, tell me. Absolutely, man. I'm loving that word of the week, man. I'm loving it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
loving it. For me, I just want everyone to know that I definitely, like I said, appreciate each and every one of you tuning in with us every week at the Round Table Talk on the Knowledge is Power podcast. But this ain't about parties. It's about power. And if we ain't at the table, nothing is being served to us or for us. It's
Because we
being
on the table on the
served.
menu.
Exactly. It's being served over us. It's being passed over us. Or, like Dr. Campbell just said, we're being fed to the hungry.
Hmm.
So tonight, let's be clear. We sit, we speak, we shift. One more time. We sit, we speak, we shift. Keep that in mind. Peace and power to each and every one of you. And as always, stay prayed up, stay prayed up, stay prayed up. Thank y'all for tuning in. God bless y'all. Good night.
Good night.